Hi there, I'm Claire, but you can call me Claire since we're basically already best friends. And this is my channel, Claire Reads, where I do book reviews and other fun, nerdy things. Today I'm going to share my reading goals for 2020, talk to you about the books I've already read so far this year, and also share with you the books that I'm currently reading. In 2019, my reading goal was to finish 52 books, and while I did complete that goal, I barely made it. It was January 31st and I was reading picture books because I wanted to meet my goal. So I feel like that was a little bit of a cop-out. And so for 2020, I've set the exact same goal of 52 books that I want to finish, with the hopes that I will finish in a reasonable amount of time and possibly overachieve and maybe read some more books than 52. I mainly read a lot of fantasy and YA, but this year I do want to try to branch out a bit and read some more nonfiction, maybe some textbooks, teach myself a few things, and maybe pick up a thriller or a horror book. I don't know, everyone keeps saying I should read Stephen King, but I am afraid of the monsters under the bed, so that's still up in the air. I started off 2020 reading An Enchantment of Ravens by Margaret Rogerson, and this book is a YA fantasy that follows the main character Isabel, and she is a painter and she is tasked with painting portraits of all of the fair folk who are the feared, powerful, magical beings in the universe that she lives in. And one day she's tasked of painting the portrait of the famed Prince Rook, and she kind of F's up. She paints emotions in his face, and that's not good. And the story goes from there. And I really, really enjoyed this book. I think Rogerson's writing is so beautiful and lyrical. The ending scenes got a little confusing with all of the commotion. I won't reveal anything, but all around, I thought this was a really great book. 4 out of 5 stars. Really exciting start to the year. I was really happy to have a good one right at the beginning. So I'm sure you're like me and have about a bajillion books on your shelf that you've never read, but you always find yourself going back to reread books that you enjoyed previously. And I'm a huge culprit of that. So right after I finished Enchantment of Ravens, I reread the Winter Night Trilogy because we all love the Winter Night Trilogy. It's just so good. This is an amazing Russian historical fantasy that has so much magic and folklore, and I love the clash between traditional religion with the Russian folklore. It is just such a good little... It's so good. This trilogy follows our main character Vasya as she grows up and learns about her magical abilities and basically saves Russia by bringing together men and creatures, and it's really, really amazing. Highly recommend if you haven't read it, but a lot of people have read it, so let's talk about it. Leave a comment if you like this book too, because I just love gushing about this series and Catherine Arden. Oh, so good. The next book I read was actually a graphic novel, and it was an ebook that I got from the New York Public Library, and it is Monstrous by Marjorie M. Liu. And this graphic novel is so good. It's the start of a fantasy series, and to be completely honest with you, I was confused for a lot of it, just like how I'm confused when I watch The Witcher, but I'm actually enjoying Monstrous. The overarching story to this series is basically a great battle between the Arcanics, who are magical creatures that sometimes pass for human, and the Kumeya, who are a band of witches that feed on the Arcanics to fuel their power. And this graphic novel, comic, whatever you want to call it, has some of the most beautiful artwork I've ever seen. It is absolutely stunning, and honestly I would recommend picking it up just for the artwork, even if you don't like fantasy because it's so lovely to look at. So good. I'm definitely gonna get the second one, and it's not at the library, so guess who's gonna be buying it probably. Really great, definitely recommend. The next book that I read, which I actually just finished yesterday, was The Wicker King by M. Ancrum, and this story I felt was a lot better in concept than it was in execution. This story follows two high school boys that are best friends and they rely on each other for everything because their parents aren't really able to be there for them. And one of them has visions of a world that's layered on top of our own, and the other one, who doesn't have this sight or this ability, goes along with what his friend sees and believes him, and it kind of leads them on this physical and emotional quest of sorts. I won't reveal too much, but for me, I expected this book to be a bit more grand, and just based on the description, I thought that this world layered on top of our own would have more prominent role in the story, that we'd have more insight into what's there. While we do get descriptions, and there are actually a few like little doodles interwoven throughout the book, I just wanted more. I wanted to know more about this. I wanted some more background. Based on what happens at the end, I do understand why that's not the case, but nevertheless, I wanted more. And it wasn't my favorite book. I would say I give it 3 out of 5. So I read 6 books so far this year, and we're halfway through February, and I'd say I'm pretty on track. I mean, Goodreads say I'm on track, so I think I'm doing okay. And now I just wanted to quickly talk to you about what I'm currently reading, because that's fun and something else to, toss in here. The first thing is A Wizard of Earthsea by Ursula Le Guin. It's like classic fantasy. I'm only 2 chapters in, but I just have so much respect for Ursula Le Guin, so I'm really excited to keep on reading that. And the other book I'm reading right now is On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous by Ocean Vuong, and wow, is this book beautiful. The writing in this book is absolutely stunning, and although I'm only, oh gosh, page numbers, I'm like 65 pages in, this book really hits you in the emotions and the feels. The book is sort of a letter to a mom from his son, and the mom can't read, and he kind of just describes the world around him and interweaves stories from his family's history and lineage, and it's just breathtaking. Really recommend this one. I can give you more thoughts when I am done though. So those are my reading goals for 2020, what I've read so far in January and February, and what I'm reading right now. And there's my first YouTube video, and I hope you liked it. Am I cool enough to start saying like, give this video a like? I don't know. But if you could subscribe, that'd be really nice. I'd appreciate it. Yeah. Have a great day. Bye.